Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Eduwith channel. So today's topic from veterinary medicine is parotitis. So we all know that parotitis is the inflammation of parotid gland. So from the parotid word itself, we can define it that parotitis is the inflammation of parotid gland. So please subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. So, inflammation of parotid gland is the best definition for parotitis. So, it may be acute, that is formed between 2 to 3 days, or chronic, that is formed from nearly 2 to 3 weeks, which can be characterized by glandular abscess. So, sometimes due to the etiological agent present inside the parotid gland or the duct, it may form a glandular abscess-like structure leading to the abnormal functioning of the parotid gland. So the etiology are wound from any bites, so that bacterial invasion occurs, or external trauma due to any contusion or any blunt objects, or the extension of infection from the pharynx. From pharyngitis and all, the infection will be spread to the parotid gland, or mainly in canine distemper in dogs. This parotitis is very common in case of canine distemper in dogs, or infectious feline pancreatic lipase problems in cats and infectious feline diseases, Mycobacterium tuberculosis problems, Actinobacillus ligneraceae, that is, in case of wooden tongue, it may extend to the parotid gland, or sometimes it may be due to the pus forming or pyogenic bacteria, that is the Streptococcus equi, which may be mainly present in the strangles, or due to any presence of stones, that is salivary calculi in the Stensen's duct or the parotid gland itself. Next is the lymph node, mediastinal lymph node abscesses that may induce problems in the parotid gland. Next is a vitaminosis A. So these are the causative agent for any parotitis or any parotid gland infection. So moving to the clinical findings, intense painful swelling of the glands will be there and near the adjoining area. So high rise in temperature will be there, that is due to the activation of endogenous pyrogens due to the presence of toxins in the blood and due to the hypothalamic regulation. So acute swelling may interfere with the respiration because the respiratory tube trachea passes through this way. Sometimes the abscess can put on a pressure in through the respiratory tube, that is the trachea. So animal will not open its mouth for any proper investigation. So head will be held rigid due to the pain from the parotid gland. So paralysis of the facial nerve may occur due to obvious pressure on the nerve. Sometimes the facial nerve branches are going through this area. So whenever the abscess is hard and strong enough to push the facial nerve, that may lead to facial paralysis. So clinical pathology, for any clinical pathological studies of the parotitis, we have to take swab from the lesion for bacteriological culture, so that we can do antibiotic sensitivity test and we can find the culture and we can see which bacteria is the causative agent. So of the salivary glands, parotid gland is most commonly affected by an inflammatory process. Infections of the parotid gland range from acute to severe. So assessment of the disease process should differentiate local primary parotid infection from systemic infection. So anaerobic bacteria, mostly the Peptostreptococcus species or Bacteroides species, and pigmented Porphyromonas species, Prevotella species, has been recently recognized an important cause of this infection. So beta-lactamase producing organisms can be isolated in almost 3/4 of the patients. So surgical drainage is best indicated when the pus has formed. So this is actually the parotid gland. You can see the area of parotid gland. This is a mandibular gland. So sometimes the infection from the parotid gland will be moved to the mandibular gland. So mandibular gland inflammation also will be there. In this area, swelling will be there. So this is actually the parotid gland. This is the sublingual gland. This is the submandibular gland. So you can see the parotid gland, and this is the parotid duct which will be opening on the molar region. So whenever this gland is infected or this gland has got some bacterial flora, through the Stensen's duct they will be moving to the molar region and they will be producing inflammation of the tongue or inflammation of the buccal area also. So this is the parotid gland in case of horse. So this is parotitis in case of a dog. You can see the enlargement in this side. That is unilateral parotitis. Sometimes it may be bilateral parotitis or unilateral parotitis. That will depend upon the severity of infection and to which extent the bacteria has gained entry into the blood. So diagnosis is actually through the bacteriological culture from swabs or clinical signs from the owner or from the history. So treatment protocol, in case of diffuse swelling, we will be using hot fermentation technique with magnesium sulfate or boric acid. So if proper surgical drainage is needed, if at all there is the formation of pus or pyogenic appearance. Now to prevent any sepsis or any microbial problems, we need to go for broad spectrum antibiotics. And if at all we are cutting and draining it, then we have to dress the wound. So to avoid the pain, we have to go for the painkillers, and the procaine penicillin will be acting as a painkiller, and also it is a best antibiotic and painkiller analgesic. So thank you.